Hey guys, it's Natalie Domina. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you do not know who I am, I'm a Roman Catholic YouTuber and I do YouTube videos on all things Catholicism. If you're Protestant, Catholic, or whoever you are, you're welcome here. So for today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys a complete list of the things you can do and things you cannot do as you are Catholic dating. So this video is super highly requested. Me personally, I have looked for a video like this, and I feel like anytime you look up Catholic dating guidelines, it's kind of hard to find what can I actually do as a Catholic couple. So this video is going to give you exact things that you can and cannot do as a Catholic couple. So I hope this is very helpful to especially teens, young adults, and even if you're late in dating in your life, I think this is really important. Or if you're single, just so you know when you do start dating, or if you become a priest. These are just good things that you should remember and give advice to other couples. Of course, be charitable, but I think this is a really important list that we as young Catholics really need. So before I get into today's video, make sure you follow me over on Instagram at nathaliedominacatholic for more Catholic content and sign up for my monthly newsletter. In the description, you can find it in a link. You just go in my link tree and it takes 20 seconds 30 seconds, maybe even less, to sign up for. Just put your name and email and it is free and you will get exclusive content there every month. And go listen to my podcast, Sign of Contradiction podcast with Natalie Domina over on Spotify. There I post weekly podcasts at Sundays at 8 a.m. So make sure you go follow all those things so you get all the content that you can get. And just thank you all for supporting my ministry, and let's get on with today's video. So the first thing I want to talk about is chaperones or being alone, things like that. I highly advise that you are never in a place alone. Let me explain. Never be in a house alone. Always have the other person's parents, siblings, someone there. This especially goes for like teen dating, but obviously if you are a young adult living on your own, that might be a little bit different. But try not to go to just each other's house, because that leads for a lot of temptation and sin. Try to go out to a public place, and you really should go eat out in restaurants or go hang out in a park. It's just some public place so you feel like there's not a temptation there to be secluded and alone. I think that's really important, that you're never alone. But obviously sometimes you can't avoid that. Sometimes if you're driving in the car with them, you're going to be alone. But really minimize then physical contact in the car. Like, you might even be like, we're not going to even hold hands in the car. Or you can be like, let's hold hands in the car, but we're not going to kiss in the car. And that's really something that has helped me, just knowing that anytime I'm like alone with my boyfriend, I'm not going to even have contact, like physical contact, so that I know there's no way for me to be led into other deeper things. If worst comes to worst and you guys are alone for some odd reason, that is okay, but make a boundary that you guys are not going to have physical contact, and really communicate with your partner what you guys are going to do in a situation like that before it happens, so that you know when it does happen, oh, we've talked about this. Now that this has come, this is what we have to do. Try to have very minimum physical contact in the car, and if you are ever alone for some odd circumstance, minimize it there. But it's really important to have some sort of chaperone, at least in the place. Like, they don't have to be like sitting there on the date, but at least just in the place or vicinity near you. Except a chaperone can even mean if you're out at a public restaurant that there's just people there. So really, I advise you to do that. Something else I advise that many people don't think about, they only think about like physically, what should I do and what can I not do? But something else is to minimize what you speak about. You are not married yet. You should not be speaking about things or the other person's body or different things that you guys aren't ready to talk about. If you can't experience it, then you shouldn't talk about it. So minimize conversations about marriage and those type of things in marriage. Like, bring them to marriage. You're not going to talk about that before you're dating, because during marriage prep, you'll get through probably some more like intimate conversations. But if you're just dating right now, you're not in that stage of your life. So don't talk about things that about the other person's body, or just those type of conversations about, doing the deed, those type of things. Don't talk about that while you're dating, because it can lead your mind to different like fantasies and thoughts that you shouldn't have as you're dating, because Christ says if you lust after a woman, you are committing the adultery. Any like thoughts that you start thinking about, it's like you're just doing the thing itself. So if you're dating, you shouldn't be thinking about the marital act. I mean, obviously, if that comes to your mind, like, okay, but don't dwell on that, don't think about it, because you're not married. So if you can't do it, then don't think about it. Now, this is like the pretty big thing of like, what can I do? I'm gonna talk about kissing. So it is a mortal sin to make out with your boyfriend, girlfriend, depending on who you are, obviously, in the relationship, but that is a mortal sin, and you should not make out, because that's like a sort of like penetration that you should not be doing. It first off can lead to a lot of things, but also it is a sort of like penetration which should be saved for marriage. So definitely do not commit that mortal sin. Do not make out, French kissing, whatever. That is not something you can do as Catholics, and trust me, like, that's hard. That's a really hard thing to ask, because obviously you're so in love with that person, you find them attractive, handsome, and you love their morals, just everything, and then you want to do that. But what the devil wants so bad is to make chaste, holy dating relationships unchaste, and then holy matrimonies unchaste as well, or destroyed. And the way that he does that is by dating. He wants to make things that you aren't supposed to do while dating, he wants you to like really want to do them. He'll give you time to do them, whatever. And then in a marriage, he splits you apart. He's like, now you have kids to watch over your work. And then he starts to like break apart the marriage, because you don't have time for each other to actually do what you're supposed to do in marriage. So it's kind of like the opposite, is that he gets you different stages of your life. And so he's going to give you time. There are going to be literal temptations of doing it. Like, why can't I? But you're going to have to remember, I can't do this. It will lead to other things. And even if it doesn't, thoughts, or just even by the very nature of it, you're penetrating, don't do that. Just don't do it. But it is okay to kiss before marriage. Of course, if you want to save that, that is such a beautiful thing to save your kiss for marriage. But if you're not doing that, that's also okay. It is okay to kiss. Limit it to really quick. Limit it to just a quick little peck on the cheek, quick little peck on the lips, whatever. But especially, again, when you're alone, or if there's like a situation where you could like just kiss for longer, like, remember, we need to calm down, because it can lead to so many more things. And you don't want to do that, because it is a sin in itself to like be a temptation for others, or to lead others to sin. You don't want to do that. You want to be like just always holy. Just stay way far away from the line. Don't try to get up as close as you can. And obviously it's okay to hold hands. It's okay to hug. And like I said, it's okay to kiss, but that's the maximum. That's the maximum of what you can do. Like, anything else, any other like holding, whatever, like that should be reserved for marriage, because it's when your body is like freely given. That's when you make the vow. Something else that you need to watch out is laying, cuddling. You 100% should not lay together in a bed, even if you're whatever, we're not gonna do anything. Like, you don't lay in the bed. Like, the bed is a very, like, that's the most like intimate part of ourselves. Like, when someone sleeps, you're like literally giving up yourself. So when you're like sleeping together in a bed, that's a no-no. And then if you're going to just like cuddle, that's fine. Like, if you guys want to, one guy, like the guy sit up, the girl wants to lay down, that's fine. Or if you guys kind of want to like, not like fully lay down, but like kind of lay, like, that's okay. But no legs over each other, none of that, because that really like can lead to just more. So you just want to really just, especially with your boyfriend, or guys, if you're watching this, for your girlfriend, you need to just really have these conversations. Like, when I started dating my boyfriend, we had these conversations before we started dating. Like, okay, what are our physical boundaries going to be? We don't cross them. And we've even had to make some adjustments. Be like, oh, we let this slide in the beginning, but then it would always lead to bad thoughts or something. Okay, well then we're gonna cut that out. Like, you'll have to keep revisiting that, but it needs to be an ongoing conversation of, hey, I'm gonna be open and vulnerable. I really actually can't do this, because then I start to lust after you, and I don't want to lust after you because I love you. So you need to really just have those open conversations. But yeah, no laying and interlocking legs or anything like that. Really just very, very minimal laying down, I would say, or just have one person kind of lay and then the other can sit, whatever. Just make sure everything is just sweet, short and sweet. All of this really just stems from a place of love. You want to love your significant other, and you want to be able to have vulnerable conversations with them, because if you guys can't admit to your faults and your sins in the relationship, how are you gonna admit to any of them in like other areas of your life? You need to be able to be like, oh look, I actually can't do this, because then I'll start sinning. You need to be open and have those conversations with someone else, or be like, I love you so much, I can't do this. And then if the other person's like, what? And then they like break up with you because of that, it's like, so what? Okay, they don't want me to actually love them. So remember, loving is willing the good of the other. And I think it's in their best interest that you don't lust after them and treat them as an object. So that's all basically I have to say. You can write more questions in the comments or DM me on Instagram if you have more questions about dating. I think that's pretty much it that I would think about, that I think about when dating, is don't have too intimate of conversations. Just minimize physical contact when you're alone, and really just try to love the other person and just, yeah, not be so entangled in one another. That's basically all I would say. But yeah, let me know if you have any more like specific questions, but I really think that's it. Is you can kiss, you can hug, and you can hold hands, but nothing more than that. Thank you guys for listening to this video today, and if you haven't already, like and subscribe down below for more content. And yeah, I wish you all luck out there dating, and please try to stay holy and chaste, because you are so, so sacred. Saint Mary Magdalene, pray for us. Have a blessed day, y'all.